Now we're going to start on the interior. So the exterior is done. The window tints on everything on the exterior is finished. And I'll play some cinematic videos of this car to show you how it looks. But we're gonna start moving on to the interior build. And the first thing we're gonna do, after we already did the gear shifter, which is just easy, you just screw it on and screw it off. It doesn't look that much different. It's just a little carbon fiber strip. But we're gonna install these interior ambient lighting, vehicle intelligent system. Intelligent lighting system. That's funny. It comes with the door, like little lights for the that go on the door handle and stuff, and under where your feet are. But I'm not gonna install those because those lights are horrible. They're really, they're not bright at all, and they're just a pain to install. I'm just gonna do the ones that go on the door. All right, guys. So this is what it comes with. You get the master switch here, which I have it hooked up because this is what I use to test the light after I install it. Or you should do it before you install it. And then it comes with the 4 main controllers. You mount each one of these behind the door panels. And then you have 4, 5, 6, you have 6 LED light strips. 4 of them are the same size. This is my 9-volt battery that I use for testing. It doesn't come with the kit. And then it has some of these that go under the, in the footwell area. These are wire splinters. These go, I think, by the storage compartment of the door panel, which I'm not gonna install these because they're just not that good. And then it comes with the little door light that goes right next to the door handle. Which again, I'm not installing any of this. I'm leaving it in here. And then yeah, I think you can control this with an app from your phone, but we'll see. And so for the 2 front door panels, I already installed the light. You can kind of see it there. It's kind of hard, but all you got to do is shove it in there. So I'm gonna show you guys how I got the LED strip in there. The kit comes with one long one. So it comes with 4 of the same size light strips, which go in here. And then it comes with 1 long one, which goes for the dashboard, and then 1 short one to put wherever you want. So you can actually cut these if you want to. You can cut them, but I didn't have to cut this. I used the full thing. It goes from here all the way, from here to here to here, and then like that. And there's a way you can test it too, which I'll show you how to do. All right, guys. So what I did to install the LED strip is I, first of all, just ripped this with my hands. Rip the back. No one cares about this little material. You shove it right into there. There's a little hole. I don't have to break anything or move anything. You just shove it right in there, and it'll come out from the other side. It'll come out from right here, and it starts like right here, which is perfect. That's exactly how you need it. So with this car, you can do it very easily because the wire comes right through. So for the 2 front doors, it's the same exact thing. One thing I did do, I forgot to mention, I took off these 3 screws because it makes it easier to tuck the light right into this area right here. Use your hand here and push, kind of like squeeze it outwards, like pull this way towards there, to kind of like separate these 2 panels. It'll give you more space in between to push the light in. You want to make sure it's not pushed in too much on one side and then it's pushed out on the other side because it'll look bad. But just do the best you can. Here was really hard to do. I had to take a plastic pry tool and pull back right here to get it in this little curve. And this, to get it behind here, is kind of tough, but you just got to get a plastic pry tool and push it hard. And you should be able to get it under here. And then I put a little piece of 3M double-sided adhesive tape right here to keep it in there. So we're looking at the back of the rear door panels. So what I'm gonna do is, you see that right there, that little light, that little hole. So we're gonna take the LED light strip and just basically, it's pretty much the same thing for the back, I guess. So you're just gonna take it right here and you're gonna shove it through here. We'll do it this way actually, just like that. Just put it in there like that, and it'll come out from the other side like this. Now you're gonna just pull it through, pull it through all the way to like right there. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. Just kind of like shove it in there. You don't even have to pull it back. See how I just push it in there? Kind of hide this. And I think we're gonna have a little left to kind of like do the same thing we did on the front. All the door panels are pretty much the same thing. I did go ahead and I took off the metal plate, this little metal plate with the 3 screws. It was like one right here, here. I took off those 3 screws just to make it, because I think it makes it easier to pull back the panel once you get to this part. So all you're gonna do is just feed this LED strip through here, all the way down. Try not to push it in too much, just to where you can see that white. You don't want to be able to see the black strip, just to where you see the little white sticking out. And you just keep going all the way down. And once you get to this part, I think you got to take a plastic prizing tool and then stick it in here, pull it back a little bit, and then just kind of like mess with it to get it in there. Because you really have to. So getting it in here is easy, but this corner is always the problem. All right guys, so it's just gonna kind of look like this. I was not able to get it tucked in that corner, in the other part of that corner, but it will go behind this little sliver corner if you pry it up, and it goes right into here easily. You just gotta pry it in and make sure it's sticking out just about that much. But as you can see, it's gonna look a little weird over here. If you look at it from here, since it's gonna be like this. So the whole light goes in, but then right here, it kind of sticks out from the top, but that's fine. It's good enough for me. And it should not look too bad, especially at nighttime in the dark. You won't be able to tell. So I'm just gonna leave it like this. Alright guys, to test it out, what you're gonna do is get the main controller. It says it on here, main controller. Plug in the light strip to any one of these 4 ports here, and then plug in the power wire into here, and then use a 12-volt battery just like this. And you're gonna hold the positive on the positive, hold the negative on the negative, and then the light, you gotta hold it for a couple seconds, and then the light's gonna turn on. Let me show you guys. Oh, and there you go. Look, it's actually working halfway, which is weird. Yeah, I think I broke it maybe. It's supposed to light up all the way. Yeah, it's not good. If it's We're gonna start off by taking out these plastic trims. You just use a plastic prying tool and pull it upwards, and it comes right out. Do that to both of these here. Now what you're gonna do is just literally pull up right here. You're gonna grab from right here and just pull up, and this whole thing should just kind of come out, just like that. So in order to take this out, you gotta first remove your gear shifter. So I'm gonna unscrew it just like this, and then it should just pop right out. Alright guys, after you take out the gear shifter, make sure you unplug this wire right here, just like that. And it looks like there's one more here on this side. Unplug it, and this whole part comes out. Take out these 2 screws here, and then take this out, and that'll allow me to get to the other screws that are holding this in actually. Alright guys, so this piece just comes right out. After you take out the 2 screws, it comes right out. Then you just unplug this little connector right there, and that's it. It comes right out. Now you should be able to see these 10 millimeters, I believe. 1, 2. Okay, so what I did is I stuck this under here, from right here in this line, and kind of just pulled outwards. And I think now I can just pull it out. And so after you pull off this vent, it's kind of It's kind of hard to get it out. You really have to fidget it around to get it out. You'll see 2 other 10 millimeters, one here, one there. So take those out, and this whole thing should come out all together. Hooked up the master master controller module for the LED ambient lighting. So I'm going to show you guys how I ran the wires. The wire all the way down here, and it comes out right here. Okay, you can push it in through there. If you put a flashlight here, you'll see the light come out from right there, and you can push the wire in from there. And on the other side, there's also a same space where you can put the LED light. So this is the LED light right here. You just plug it into there, push it through there, and I also ran the button. All right, guys, so this is how it looks right now. I tucked the wire in so you can't actually see it. When you open it, you can see this, but you can't really see it from here. So I just kind of pushed it in there and tucked it in, and it gets hidden. For this one, this is the button switch that turns the light on and off. I'm gonna tuck it right into here, along here, and I'm gonna put it right here on this thing, like right around here. That's just how I'm gonna do it. You can do it however you want, or maybe I'll just put it into the glove box. Not sure for now, but I'm gonna leave this off and wrap it tomorrow. And I threw the master controller right back into there, and I stole the power from the first USB controller. So if you look at here, I already taped it up, but make sure everything's working and then put it back, and make sure you do not damage any of the wires because there's a lot of sharp metal here. So make sure you route all the wires properly so that it doesn't get cut when you put everything back. I'm going to show you how it currently looks right now. So we have all the doors done. We have that one door that I broke because I installed it wrong. I wasn't careful, and I ended up breaking half of it. But at least half of it still works. And over here, this one works too. So I'm going to tell you guys how I wired these lights and got power to the lights. I forgot to mention that this light over here, I installed it by using 3M tape. You just pop the glove box and put it right there. You can actually cut the other end if it's too long. You can just cut it and it'll still work perfectly fine. And then yeah, I just put tape and then tucked it back here, and then the wire goes into there like I showed you before. And then one other thing I forgot to mention is I bought an extra, I think, I forgot how many inches this light is, but I bought an extra LED strip. They let you buy it on Amazon. And also, if you break one of these, you can buy an extra LED strip too. But I forgot to mention that when you take this out to put the main controller back here, what you're going to do is you're going to also hook up these ones, and you can use the extension to, oops, accidentally opened that, but you can use the extension to go from the main controller and hook up these ones, and these just literally slide in here really easily. I think I should push this one out a little bit more so I can see it better, but yeah guys, I'm super satisfied with how it came out. It looks amazing. You can change it to any color you want. They have an app, I think it's called Magic Lantern. Works really well. You can do all kinds of patterns, all kinds of stuff with it. And then I think I also forgot to mention that initially I used the power from like something else, but I ended up using the power for the main controller from my stereo system. And then I hooked up the ground wire to some like random bolts, some metal bolts that was on a metal bracket. Finally, let's talk about providing power to these LED strips, to the sub-controller modules that are behind these door panels. So the way I initially did it is I got power from the window switches, and that worked for a little bit. Actually, it still works for this door, but for all the other doors, I used the window power switch initially, and then it just randomly stopped working. Couldn't figure out what the reason was, so I ended up having to tap into the fuse box down there, and I'll show you which fuse I used and what fuse tap I used. But I had to tap into the power from the fuse box and get power from there. And then I just bought some extra, I think 16 gauge or 14 gauge wire, and I ran it across, I ran it under. You can just pop these these door panels off. You just literally just pop them off and it comes out. And I ran the wire from going from there down through here, and then I popped this off and I ran the wire into here so that it can get to the rear door. I did the same with this one, but for this one you have to really feed it through there, that little crack over there, and then the wire goes down here and you have to fish it and get it through here. But yeah guys, it looks great. And that's how I wired. I literally used the same wire for 3 doors. So that wire goes from there and then it hooks up to here. I just used the normal butt connectors to connect the wires together. You guys can search up how to connect wires using heat shrink butt connectors. I used those other splicers, but those did not work. I had those other quick splices, the plastic ones, but those did not work. So I ended up having to use the butt connectors. But there's a fuse box under there, and there's also a fuse box under here. You can choose which one you want to use, but you get the fuse tap, and then you can tap into to get power. And you want to tap into the fuse that is that turns on only when the ignition switch is on, so that you're not draining the power. Because some of the fuses provide constant power. You don't want to use one of those. And you also want to choose a fuse that is for something that's not important. For example, if you have a fuse for the power seats, you want to use that, or like the windows. You don't want to use anything important like the transmission, ECM, or ECU, anything like that. So you're going to need wire strippers. You're going to need some wire. And then obviously you'll need some 3M tape. For that, you'll need some plastic prying tools, and then tools to take out this right here, and the door panels as well. The door panels are really easy to take off. There's a screw here. You pop this little plastic thing off. I'll see if I can add some video clips. I'm not sure if I have them. And then you take the window switch off. You just, again, pop it off. It comes right off using a plastic prying tool. There's a screw over here. There's a screw over here. And I think that is it. Literally 2 screws, one here, and then just rip or pop the door panel out just like any other door panel. You might want to be careful because of this light over here. You have to pop this one out. Just get something small, and then a flathead screwdriver, and disconnect that, and then take out the door panel. It's just like any other car. And I'm gonna try to explain it one more time a little better. So you have the fuse tap that going into there, and coming from the fuse tap, you have one red wire. So that one red wire, I connected to a wire, and it goes all the way along here, and it connects to, goes all the way down there, and it connects to the red wire for the subcontroller for this one. And then for the black wire from the subcontroller, I take that and I ran it all the way along here, and it goes all the way down here. That wire hooks up, it goes right there. So if you take off the little plastic cover down here, you'll see a little metal screw that's on a metal bracket, and I just hooked up the ground wire to that so that it provides ground. And then I used that wire, and then I took another wire and I spliced those two power and ground coming from over there, and I spliced it, and I used that for this door, and then I spliced it and used that for this door. So I spliced it using the quick splices, and then that worked. So that's how you guys do that. Basically, I used that same power and that same ground for all 3 door panels, 1, 2, and then 3. You can also just do the same and hook it up to there. But if you want to do it one at a time and make sure each one is working, because turn this thing on so you guys can see the lights. See how it does that little startup thing? It's pretty cool. It changes the color here. See? They have all kinds of colors and they have an app too. They have an app too. Oh, that looks good.